Spanish Super Cup final, because on Sunday in Saudi Arabia, the second El Clasico of the season is upon us when Real Madrid take on Barcelona with a trophy on the line. Now, you guys already know what I'm about to say. This is a must-win game. The boys have no choice but to bring this trophy back to Madrid. Fuck Barcelona. And I'm very excited for this match. It's going to tell me a lot about the boys. It's going to tell me a lot on how much we have progressed since our poor start to the season. Because you guys already know what type of time it is when we play Barcelona. Everybody in world football will be watching this game. So, look, we got to go out there and get the job done. And what's so funny is that we always seem to play Barcelona in the final of this competition. We beat them last year, right? 4-1. I hope that we run that back. Vinicius scored a hat trick. And then the year before that, they beat us. So this is the third straight final in a row that will be an El Clasico. But look, this is the opportunity for Real Madrid to win our first piece of silverware for the new year. And it could be our third of the season. Now, let's talk about the trophy that Barcelona won, okay? We can't just skip by without acknowledging the 4-0 El Clasico trophy. Let's clap it up for Barcelona. Because the way that they've been celebrating this El Clasico 4-0, I would have thought this happened in the Champions League final. But no, a regular league match. This is all that they've had to celebrate the last 18 months. So while we're looking to win our third trophy, Barcelona are looking to win their second of the season, again, after the 4-0 victory over Real Madrid. So congratulations, Barcelona, right? You guys absolutely battered us the last time we played, and it was an embarrassing loss for us at the Bernabeu, right? You guys absolutely cooked us. Rafinha scored, Lamine Yamal. You guys were just running all through us. But I'm telling you this right now. The game's not going to go that way. A trophy's on the line. We are in a lot better form than we were back then. I can't wait for this match. Oh my goodness. But yo, before we get into it, I need you guys to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and get in the comment section and let me know what you are thinking for this match. You guys already know what we do on these previews. We're going to talk about both teams, and then at the end, I'm going to be building my Real Madrid starting 11, and then I'm also going to be doing a combined starting 11, and I definitely want to know what you guys are going to be saying for that. But let's get into Real Madrid, right? We're coming into this game top of La Liga, sitting first comfortably, right? Okay, let me not say comfortably, but point is, we are first in the league right now. And I think it's just so crazy how the tables have turned, because I was told that Real Madrid's La Liga season was over way back in October. So it's funny how to start off the second half of the season, we're sitting top. Our form, it's been decent, right? The last hiccup that we had was against Rayo Vallecano when we drew. And then I believe the last loss that we had was against Bilbao. But if you look at our recent run of forms, you're seeing a lot of green, right? We've been winning a majority of our games. Last time we was out there, we beat Mallorca in the Spanish Super Cup semifinal, and we will talk about that in a second. But then before that game, right, we went out there, we beat Minera in the Copa del Rey round of 32. We're not going to really focus on that too much because they are a fourth division side. But we got a tough win over Valencia where I didn't think that we played that well. So in the 3 games that we've had this season, right, Valencia, we were poor. We got the dub, but we were shit for 85 minutes. Minera, we took care of business. They're a low team compared to us. And then against Mallorca in the Spanish Super Cup final, I think that we played well. But aside from that, just the form that we've been on, it's been decent. I think that we could look a little bit better out there on the pitch. But look, all these greens. Again, the last loss that we had was to Bilbao, which is kind of crazy considering the performance that we saw Bilbao put in against Barcelona in their semifinal match. And we'll talk about that when we get to Barcelona. But look, we had that poor run of form. And to be honest, Barcelona were the team that started it. That 4-0 loss in El Clasico had us spiraling because then the next game was against AC Milan, and then they beat us. And then we picked up our form a little bit against Osasuna and Leganés, and then Liverpool went out there and embarrassed us in the Champions League. And then we beat Getafe, and then we lost to Athletic Bilbao. So to be honest, while we have not been the best this season, I think we've done okay for ourselves considering just how shit I think we were to start off this campaign. Like, if we want to look back at the table real quick, right? So we've won 13 games. We've drawn 4 times. We've lost twice. And to be honest, we could have lost a lot more than that in the league, right? Like Las Palmas could have beat us. Celta Vigo could have beat us. Real Sociedad, Villarreal, all these teams in the league that had big opportunities against us were just not clinical. So I think I'd be lying if I just dismissed all of that. But I did just want to show you guys our recent run of games. Look, we're getting the job done, and I am expecting a pretty big second half of the season, and there's no better way to start it off than by winning a trophy to get the third one that we would have gotten so far. So just looking at that Mallorca match, I think pretty comfortable, right? The 3-0 could have been 5-0, to be honest. We were steamrolling Mallorca, and I think that that was one of our better performances of the season. The way that we started the game from the minute the whistle was blown, I was very impressed. The only thing that was a little bit annoying was that in the first half, we didn't score a goal. But we were all over them, in and around their box, holding possession, winning the ball back very quickly. Our pressing was good as well. Mallorca literally did nothing that game. The only player that they had that I think had a decent performance was their goalkeeper, because he made some big saves in that first half. But everybody else for Mallorca was just out there doing cardio, getting ran through. Jude got the goal scoring to get started. Rodrigo scored the third goal. Then we got an own goal for the second. But look, man, I think we're heading into this match on good form. If we're able to play like we did against Mallorca in the final, I'm feeling really confident that we can go out there and definitely get the dub. By the way, I just wanted to take time out to say, Pablo Maffio, what a scrub. What an absolute scrub. This guy is such a bum. But that had nothing to do with this video. I don't even want to get into it about this fraudulent criminal who's out there just looking to fight every time. And the only reason that he's relevant is because he plays Real Madrid twice a season and he gets to talk about Vinicius. That's the only reason why anybody cares about a Pablo Maffio. What a fucking scrub. But anyways, we took care of business in the Spanish Super Cup semifinal. I don't think it was our best performance of the season, but it was a decent one. It was a promising one. And I don't really have any complaints about what we did out there. The only thing that I ask is that we can just be a little bit more clinical in the final third. But let me know what you guys think about Real Madrid heading into this match, right? How do you guys feel about the squad? Are you confident that we can go out there and get the dub versus Barcelona? Now, let's talk about the ops, because Barcelona find themselves way down in third place at the moment. And I'm just trying to figure out, how the hell did that happen? I thought Barcelona won the league back in October. So how are we in January and you're sitting third behind both the Madrid clubs? Barca, what has happened? I'll tell you what's happened. It's some shit form. These guys started off the season on smoke. Everybody was talking about Hansi Flick like he was the great savior. You would have thought they had Jesus Christ managing their team the way that all those Barca fans were sucking off Hansi Flick. And to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Barca at the start, let's just go to it real quick. They were cooking at the start of the season in the league, right? Like, they were on fire, to be honest. They did have that one loss to Osasuna, but they were battering teams. And then something just changed. Barcelona started dropping points. They started losing and drawing to teams that everybody would have thought they would be dominating. But that wasn't the case. Lamine Yamal got an injury. And you know what I say. No Yamal, no party for Barcelona. 17-year-old FC. Jeffrey Epstein FC. You guys are relying on kids to save you because you're so poorly run that you can't even go out there and properly spend money. Look at how you guys were struggling to register Dani Olmo and Pau Victor for the second part of this season. It's embarrassing. Real Madrid had to back you for you guys to be able to get Dani Olmo registered. Everybody says that Florentino Perez had, we have an agenda against Barcelona. Of course we do. We hate you guys. But we feel pity. You know? We got to give back to the needy. But, I mean, just look at Barcelona's recent form. They did beat Bilbao, and they played really well in that game. And we'll talk about that in a second. But they're out there. They lost to Atleti, right? Atletico Madrid got that last-second winner. And then they lost to Leganés. Before that, they drew with Real Betis, and they lost to Las Palmas. Look at this form for Barcelona. Oh, my goodness me. The hate watches that we've been doing, it's been super successful, right? My hate watch success rate is phenomenal, okay? Thank you, Barcelona. But to talk about their recent game, right, like all jokes aside, they did play really well against Bilbao in the Spanish Super Cup semifinal. I'm very surprised, honestly, at how poor Bilbao were, right? Because when Bilbao played Madrid last month, they were on smoke. Everybody turned up. They were looking like prime Brazil. But then they played Barcelona and they laid down. They were trash in attack. Inaki Williams, garbage. Their midfield, garbage. Their defense, garbage. Unai Simon, the keeper, was so trash. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They let Gavi score. Gavi! This absolute scrub. Lamine Yamal got the second goal as well. And it was just a pretty comfortable win for Barcelona. Bilbao, they let us down. I was very disappointed with what I saw from them. Barcelona were just able to smother them. Very similarly to how we beat Mallorca. The only difference is Bilbao are a better club than Mallorca, right? And Bilbao, in my opinion, are one of the favorites to win the Europa League. So to see them go out there in a semifinal of a competition and play like that, I couldn't believe it. Whereas, yeah, Mallorca, they're a decent team this season, and they usually give us a hard time, but we are expected to go out there and beat them. And yes, Barcelona were the favorites against Bilbao, but I don't think it was that wide of a margin, to be honest. So to see how Barca played, you got to give them their credit, right? Good game against Bilbao. Now, looking at some other things for Barcelona, right? Just talking about the injury news. They are coming into this game pretty healthy. The only player that I believe will not be available for them is Ter Stegen, right? He's been out for the season, and they've been doing a good job, right? It's not necessarily like they're missing Ter Stegen, to be honest, but yeah, you know, they did have a few like other injuries, such as like Ferran Torres, Hector Fort, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, who they're saying is doubtful, but all these guys, I believe, were available against Bilbao. So I fully do expect them to play, right? So Ter Stegen, that's the one loss that they have. Now, I do want to talk about what their starting 11 could possibly be, right? So SofaScore has it right here. And let's just run through this real quick and see what the predictions are. So I don't believe Szczęsny will be in goal unless, who is their goalkeeper? Pena. Is he injured? I think Pena would start this game if he's fit. And I didn't see Pena on the injury list that we just looked at. So, yes, SofaScore are predicting Szczęsny to be in goal, Jules Koundé at right back, Kubarsi and Inigo Martinez as the center back pairing, Alejandro Balde at left back, then the midfield double pivot of Pedri and Casado, Lamine Yamal on the right, Gavi in the 10, Rafinha on the left, and Lewandowski up top. So if there's any Barca fans watching, let me know if you agree with this predicted starting 11 for you guys. I didn't build this. It's what SofaScore thinks you guys will do. But yeah, I just don't see Szczęsny start. I think Pena will be in goal. But everything else kind of checks out. Maybe they put Danny Olmo on the 10. But, I mean, if Gavi is coming off a good form, because I think Gavi got a goal and an assist against Bilbao, to be fair to him. So maybe it would make sense to keep him in the starting 11. But, I mean, this kind of checks out to me, except for the goalkeeper. So, guys, get in the comment section. Let me know what you're thinking about Barcelona and their chances this game. Now, let's move back to Real Madrid and talk about some of the injury news that we have. So, Luka Modric was not available for the game against Bilbao because he was sick. And I don't know what kind of sickness it was, right? They're saying that it was like some kind of virus that was in his system, so he wasn't able to go out there. But I'm hoping that Luka Modric gets that cleared so that he's able to play on Sunday, because Luka Modric is a very good player. And you guys know how much we rely on him, right? And him coming off the bench is good for us because, you know, in games that we're struggling to control possession, or in games that we want to control possession, you bring on Modric, he calms things down in the middle of the field. And yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, his sickness isn't anything that's too serious. But that was a surprise because heading into that Mallorca match, he was supposed to be out there, right? He wasn't supposed to be missing that game. Now, Jesus Vallejo has a muscle injury, but to be honest, who the fuck cares? I'm sorry, bro. Jesus Vallejo, look, bro, his time at Real Madrid is done. He's cooked. He's cooked. I think he might leave this month, to be honest. And if he doesn't leave this month, then he's leaving on a free. This guy's an absolute scrub. And while I don't want anybody to be injured, I'm just saying, who cares in terms of him possibly missing this game? He wasn't going to play anyways. Then, you know, Gonzalo Garcia and Jacobo Rahman are out as well. They weren't going to get that much game time regardless, just in any fixture. We know that Carlo doesn't really trust the youth like that. And then, look, Eder Militao, Danny Carvajal, they both did their ACLs. They're done for the season. And then, you know, they are showing some disciplinary things going on right here, but this is not relevant for the game on Sunday, I believe, right? Like, Vinicius is suspended for our next 2 La Liga matches. So he will be able to play in the Spanish Super Cup final. And then Luka Modric, I believe that he will be available as well, right? I could be wrong, but I didn't see anything that said that Modric should not be available. Let me know in the comment section, because I know that he was sick, and that's why he didn't line up against Mallorca. But he should be available for the Spanish Super Cup final. I think his points thing might be for La Liga as well. And Vasquez will be available. He will be suspended for our next Champions League match. That I do know. But yes, here is the injury report for Real Madrid. Let's keep our eye on the news concerning Luka Modric. Now, let's get into my favorite part of every single match preview, and that is building the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to play during these matches. And don't forget, chat, after this, I will be building a combined 11 for Real Madrid and Barcelona. So it's about to get real spicy in here, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button, subscribing to the channel, and get in the comment section to let me know if you agree with the team that I am about to build. Now, let's get into it. So I think that we're going to be out there in the 4-2-3-1. I think this is our best and most solid formation that we can use. And in goal, I'm going with Courtois. Obviously, right? One of the best goalkeepers in the world. And, brother, what is going on? I think I'm spelling this wrong. Okay. Put the wrong player there. my bad, Courtois. But here we go. Yeah, so Thibaut Courtois in goal, right? Best goalkeeper in the world. This guy has arguably been one of our most important players this season, been making big save after big save after big save. And if it was not for the brilliance of Thibaut Courtois, we might have lost a few more games this season. So, I think he has to be out there in the final because we know that Barcelona are a very good attacking side. So he might be a little bit busy, right? We saw last time they played us, they put 4 past us. So look, Thibaut Courtois must be in goal. There's no questions about that. Now, here's where I get nervous, chat, because the right back situation at Real Madrid is not good. You guys know we do not have a right back. And this is why I want us to bring in Trent this month. But unfortunately, we've not made a signing yet. And look, we all know what Carlo's going to do, and that is play Lucas Vázquez. Oh, my days. Chat, it could be peak. We know that Rafinha has been on smoke this season, and he's going to be a very happy man seeing Lucas Vázquez line up at right back. Now, I would love to have put Raul Asensio there, but do I honestly believe that Carlo Ancelotti is going to play Raul Asensio in the final to start at least? No. So, yeah, Lucas Vázquez must have one of the best games of his career. I'm going to really need him to lock in defensively because we know that this guy is barbecue chicken. Lucas Vázquez couldn't defend a tree, okay? He couldn't defend me or you in a 1v1. So I'm nervous, but he did have a really good game against Mallorca. And he does give us another option going forward because he is a really good crosser of the ball. So Lucas Vázquez will more than likely be at right back. Now, center back is where it gets maybe a bit tricky because we all saw that against Mallorca, Tchouaméni had to be subbed off because he might have suffered a concussion. So we got to keep an eye on that because if Tchouaméni has a concussion, then Raul Asensio will have to start this game. But I think Tchouaméni will be fine, and I think Tchouaméni will start this match. So he will be the right-sided center back. And look, I prefer Asensio in the back line over Tchouaméni, but for some reason, Carlo does not. Now, next to him, got to go Rudiger, right? That doesn't even have to be explained. Rudiger is our best center back, and yeah, we need him out there, right? This guy, his levels have dropped this season, but he's still a very, very good player. So this is what I think the center back pairing will be. Now, at left back, I'm going with Ferland Mendy. Simply because we're going against Lamine Yamal, okay? We need our fullback to be very good defensively, and that's not Fran Garcia, okay? Lamine Yamal would have Fran Garcia doing the electric slide in 1v1 situations. I know Ferland Mendy hasn't played the best this season, but I don't care what the stats tell me. This guy is the best defensive fullback that we have. He's very good in 1v1 defending. He's very physical. He has good pace, good stamina. He should be able to do a decent job on Lamine Yamal. So Ferland Mendy has to be out there for me. Now, moving into the double pivot, I think that you got to go Camavinga, right? We saw Camavinga have damn near a man of the match level performance against Mallorca, and I think this guy is a special, special player. I think Camavinga is damn near generational. The guy is amazing. What can't he do? Right? The only weakness in Camavinga's game is his shooting from outside the box. I think he could be a little bit better with his long-range shooting. Aside from that, the guy is phenomenal. He can play as a 6. He can play as an 8. Defensively, he's very good. On the ball, he's very good. Can receive it from the back line and give it away. Can carry it up the pitch. One of the best ball progressors that we have. Camavinga must start this match. And then next to him, we're going with the Rolls Royce in that midfield. Come on now. Valverde, we already know he's going to start. Look, if there's one player that you never have to worry about being included in the starting 11, that is literally Fede Valverde. Carlo Ancelotti does not give this guy rest. And Sunday, in the final El Clasico, there is no way that Valverde is not starting this match. Fede Valverde is an absolute monster, one of the best midfielders in the world, very underrated, and I think he's going to have a big game, and hopefully this guy can go out there and score a screamer for us, because we all know Valverde scores nothing but bangers. But here's the pivot that I would put out there that I think Carlo will use. Now, in the 10, we're going to go Jude. We saw Jude get the opening goal against Mallorca, right? And I think this season he's been phenomenal. And to be honest, I think we can have a conversation about Jude being our most important player this season because he's been performing at a very high level. Now, I know that he wasn't scoring goals to start off the season, but the guy is a box-to-box midfielder. He is way more than just a goal scorer. The impact that he makes off the ball is almost as good as the impact that he makes on it. The guy is everywhere for us. He's involved in the defense. He's involved in the attack. He's crashing the box. He's linking play. And I'm glad that he scored in the semifinal. And look, we all know last season, Jude absolutely cooked Barcelona in both of the games that we played them. Well, the 3 games, actually. He cooked them in La Liga, cooked them in the Spanish Super Cup final as well. And I'm hoping that he has a big performance in this game. But look, Jude has to be out there, right? And now let's get into the attack. So on the right wing, preferably, I'd love to play Arda Güler, right? I think Arda Güler needs to start on the right. But Carlo's not going to do that. Carlo didn't even sub on Arda against Mallorca in the semifinal. I don't even know if we're going to see Arda Güler in this game, which is a damn shame. But it's all good, right? Rodrigo, who I have no problem with, will be on the right wing. Now, to be fair, Rodrigo did have a very good game against Mallorca. He also scored a goal as well. He was the best attacker that we had out of the front 3. He was better than Vinicius. He was better than Mbappe. But the issue that I have with Rodrigo is that we need him to stay on the right. But there's times when he's like right here. Or there's other times where I swear I saw him lined up like this. Brother, stay out wide on the right. You can invert at times, but bro, we need to maintain a presence on that right wing because there was times when I saw Rodrigo on the left and we're playing double left wingers, and then Lucas Vazquez is responsible for the entire right side of the pitch. And that's not fair to him because Lucas Vazquez is already a very limited player. So I need this guy to be focused defending, not trying to cover the area that you abandoned. So this is where the manager, Carlo, needs to give Rodrigo a bit of instruction. I like that Carlo gives the players a lot of freedom, but fucking hell, bro. If you see that right wing being abandoned, you got to get involved and say, Rodrigo, stay on the right, bro. Now, on the left, Vinicius. I mean, come on now, right? You guys already know what time it is. Vinny must be out there. To me, obviously, one of the best players in the world. And we know that Vinicius is a big game player as well. I fully expect him to go out there and cook Barcelona. The same way that he scored a hat trick in the last final against them, I'm expecting a big performance again. No problem with Vinicius. And I think that he handled himself really well against Pablo Maffio, who was only out there just to rile him up, right? Pablo Maffio is shit. This guy, the only time that we care about him again is if he's going against Vinicius or if he's going to be talking about Vinny. And we know that he was trying to get in his head. So Vinicius handled himself well, did not get carded, didn't get sent off or nothing. So he is available for this match. This is the last game that he will be able to play for us, I believe, before his 2-game suspension kicks in for La Liga. So Vinny, you must have a better performance than what you had against Mallorca. I definitely expect you to go out there and cook. And then in the 9, Mbappe, right? Now, Mbappe has already scored in 2 finals for us this season. He scored in the UEFA Super Cup final, and then he scored in the Intercontinental Cup. So I hope that he goes 3 for 3 in terms of bagging goals. Now, I need Mbappe to stay on side because the last time he played Barcelona, the offside trap was kicking his ass. This guy was offsides about 50 times. I couldn't believe how many times he was offsides. At one point, I thought the guy was blind because I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But yeah, Mbappe, I think he's in for a big second half of the season, right? And he didn't play that well against Mallorca. He was just okay, was just decent. But we've brought him in for games like this. What are you going to do? All eyes will be on you, Mbappe. You must make up for that disaster class that you had in the last El Clasico. I'm going to be real, bro. But this is the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will put out there in the Spanish Super Cup final. So you guys get in the comment section and let me know if you agree with what I am saying. Now, let's get into the combined starting 11 for both teams. Last time we did this, a few of you guys were in the comment section crying, right? Don't cry. I want you to just let me know what you don't like. You don't got to insult me because I might have not put a certain player in there. And I already know that a lot of you guys are going to be sad again. But I am a very balanced person. I don't really show that much favoritism. Yes, obviously everybody has their players that they prefer over the next. But I think I'm pretty balanced. So let's get into it, right? And again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure that you subscribed. You turn on those post notifications. And get in the comment section and let me know what you think about my combined starting 11. Let's get it. Now, in goal, we got to go Courtois. Nobody can argue with me there, right? Nobody would sit here and say that Inaki Peña is better than Courtois. And we're gonna go based off of who's better and what's been going on this season, right? We'll try to get a healthy balance of both in there. But Peña, he's been doing a good job for Barca, but he's not on Courtois' level, right? Ter Stegen's out as well. This is pretty simple. Now, at right back, we're going Jules Koundé. Jules Koundé, I think, has been decent this season for sure. He's a lot better than Lucas Vazquez. He's better defensively. And I have been surprised by how well he's been able to help in Barca's attack with overlapping or inverting, right? I've seen him involved in the final third a few times. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? So Jules Koundé will be at right back. Now, the center backs. This is where maybe some questions got to be asked. Because I don't think we can have... So let's just do this right here. Rudiger is the left center back. That's what I know. But I think a Barcelona center back will have to be in there. Because Tchouameni's been okay. And maybe Raul Asensio would have been in the conversation, but he's been dropped from the starting 11. So I'm kind of torn between Cubarsí or Inigo Martinez. Now, I think Inigo Martinez has been decent this season. Same thing with Cubarsí. But I think I'll just go Cubarsí here, right? Let me know. And this is one that I'm kind of struggling with. So if you guys think it should be somebody else, let me know in the comment section. And then at left back, I think that we got to go Alejandro Balde. I'm going to be real, chat, because we all know that the left back situation at Real Madrid is just not the best, right? A lot of us don't rate. Why can't I find this guy? Hold on, chat. We know, right, that a lot of us, we don't rate Fran Garcia that highly. We don't really rate Mendy that highly, right? There's a reason why we're looking at possibly bringing in new left backs for next season. There's a reason why we're looking at Alphonso Davies, or we're looking at possibly bringing back Miguel Gutierrez. There's a reason why Camavinga is our best left back. Because, to be honest, our natural left backs are just not that good. Seriously, like, they're really not. And I do want to keep players true to their positions, because I was thinking about putting Camavinga here, but Camavinga has only played left back a handful of times this season, right? So it is what it is. Now, let's move into the midfield. And this is where I think a lot of people are going to be very upset. Now, in the pivot, I'm going to be honest, I think that we got to go Pedri, right? Pedri, I think, gets into the double pivot here. And then we're going to go Valverde next to him. Then in the 10, we're going Jude. No questions there. And then right wing, we got to go Yamal. Left wing, Vinny. Hold up. And now, see, here's the thing, right? Striker, we're talking about either Mbappe or Lewandowski. Now, I know that Lewandowski earlier this season was cooking. But where has he been lately? Lewandowski's not been that good as of late. The guy is out there dying. And I think that Mbappe is turning things around, right? Even when Mbappe was on poor form, the guy was out there scoring. And I think his performances lately have just been a lot better. So I'm going with Mbappe in the 9 because I believe that he's better than Lewandowski. I don't care what anybody tells me. But I think this right here is a very balanced combined starting 11. 4-2-3-1. Both teams run that. And again, let's just talk about it. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Koundé at right back. Kubarsi at right center back. Rudiger, left center back. Balde at left back. Look, Real Madrid's defense has not been that good this season. So I can't really justify putting more of our players in there when Lucas Vazquez starts for us and our left back options are Fran Garcia and Ferland Mendy, who've not been playing well this season. And when we don't even have actual center back that starts for us as well. In the midfield, look, Pedri's a good player. I rate Pedri. I don't think he's better than Valverde. I don't think that he's better than Jude. But I think he has been very good this season, right? Pedri is the profile of midfielder that I think we actually need, right? We don't have a Toni Kroos replacement. I think Pedri would be able to do that kind of role. But obviously, he's at Barcelona, so we're not going to really be able to go and buy him. But he is a decent player, for sure. Valverde, come on now. No Barcelona midfielder gets in over Valverde. He's better than Gavi. He's better than Casado. He's better than De Jong. Whoever. Feminine Lopez. He's better than all those guys. In the 10, Jude. Don't got to explain that. On the right, Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal is a fantastic player. He is the reason why Barcelona are such a threat. 17 years old, cooking like how he does, fair enough. We don't have a natural right winger. I was just talking about it when I was bringing up how Rodrigo abandons the right wing. Our best right wing option is Arda Güler. And Arda Güler is not better than Lamine Yamal. And he doesn't even play for us as often. So this is a no-brainer. On the left, Vinicius. Rafinha's been on good form this season, but Vinicius has been playing at a high level as well. And Vinny is 5 times the player that Rafinha is. And then up top, Mbappe, as for the reasons why I said when I first picked him. So let me know what you guys are saying for my combined starting 11. But look, big up to your damn selves, right? Make sure you guys get in that comment section. Make sure that you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications so you don't miss whenever I drop a new video or I go live. Because Sunday, we will be here with a live watch along for this game. It's going to go crazy, chat. But look, give me your score predictions as well. And I'll drop my score prediction during the watch along closer to kickoff. It's going to be a big game. We could win our first trophy of the new year, the 3rd one of the season, while Barcelona are still celebrating the 4-0 win in El Clasico that's led to nothing because you're still below us in the table. Hold that. Now, but big up your damn selves, right? Real Madrid fans, Barca fans, everybody's welcomed. It's just a bit of banter. But Sunday, it's going to be a war. Again, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Holla Madrid!